That brings us to presentation collections report. Maria Walls. Oh, there you are. You really get a special credit because you've really been waiting. Thank you very much.
That's okay. It's all right. I hope you'll indulge me a water. I'm getting over a cold.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for waiting.
No, and
If you were from Defusky, you'd already be out of here. You know that.
I know.
That's your fault.
It is. I should live on Defusky, although I still would be here, so that's all right. Thank you for hearing from me this evening. I will try and make it quick. What I wanted to share with you are 3 things this evening: financial update, collections, and then just a general office update. First, we'll start off with a financial overview. Just wanted to share with you the cash on hand. This is different. This is what is in our actual bank accounts. This is different than Councilwoman Bench's question to Alicia. Just want to be clear here. And I wanted to share with you that as of today, what we are earning at the South Carolina Government Investment Pool is 61 basis points, which is very good for the types of investments we're permitted to invest in. I know that's always a question that has come up. Unrestricted cash, that first number, $189 million, as of today, is invested. 41% of that money is invested and not sitting in a general bank account. And for restricted is 66%. You have to keep in mind the majority of that $189 million we got in the last few weeks. So that number and percentage will increase depending on the cash flows that are communicated to our office by the finance department. So before your council retreat, our office was asked to give an idea of where we were collections-wise. I have to apologize to you that you did not have this information on Friday. It was sent to your clerk to council today, so any delay in you receiving it was my responsibility. So I apologize for that. I'm offering this as just a summary because it was previously provided. But what I wanted to show you is this is the collections as of January 15th, which is the last day you can pay without a penalty. It's the majority of our collections. On average, we're at 91% for that total, but county operations, we're at 92.06. 2 things to note. This is an increase from last year. Billed dollars increase. We were almost exactly to the 0.1% of where we were last year. So despite a billing increase, we saw no impact as of January 15th on our collection rate. Now let's jump to February 15th. You could see the difference here. We collected $80 million January 15th, and then another $800,000 in that 30-day period. I'm showing you this because it's not a great deal of money, so you can see that the majority of what we're going to get has already come through the door. Again, now we are at a 93.24% collection rate for county operations alone. This is for real property, personal property, and motor vehicles. So, and just tax year 2015, we have delinquent tax years coming in every day. But I bring this up to show you that, again, we are still on target and in consistency with the prior year. What is not shown on this slide, but was in the supporting documentation, which if you haven't received it yet, you will, included a breakdown of taxable value between legal residents and non-legal residents. This is oftentimes an issue that comes up, and the proportion of what has been paid, because as we know, legal residents versus non-legal residents impacts our schools, the school operations. The assessor's office is working towards completing any applications for the legal residency. In that document, you will see an increase in the number of legal residents value. This is to be expected because they're working through applications every day in the past 30 days and in the next 30 days until they're finished.
Well, you lost me.
Mm-hmm.
Legal residents, non-legal residents. You're talking about primary residents.
Yes.
4%.
4% versus 6%.
Right, okay, I just want to make sure that's what
Yes.
you're talking about. Okay.
So what I was trying to clarify, I'm sorry, that not shown on this.
Sound like an immigration officer.
No, certainly not. Is that we tend to see a 30% versus 70% split, and you will see that swing more to legal resident since the last report, but it is not very significant. I just wanted to clarify. You'll see a difference because they're continuing to process those applications. And in the debt set-off program, so I mentioned we don't just collect this money, this is just tax year 2015. Since January 15th, we've collected $112,000 total in just tax refunds. And as you know, the state of South Carolina was not issuing them as of January 15th. It took some time into January. We'll continue to see that number climb. This is as a result of the Debt Set-Off Collection Act, and one that was approved, our participation was approved by County Council. So we've collected $112,000 there since January 1st. Short office update. You know, this July 1st was not my first day in the treasurer's office, but we really wanted to take a look at what we are doing to inspire and motivate our staff and cultivate leadership. We want to have a plan for the future, for departures, for retirements. We want the goals of the treasurer's office to be perpetuated regardless of who is there. And what that led us to do is create a mission statement. It's at the bottom there. We are professionals serving with innovation and enthusiasm. And we are trying to encourage our staff to follow that in all the decisions that we are making, as well as our core values. Who are we? And on behalf of the treasurer's office and our staff, I know you have not made any decision on the salary, the PDQs that we've done, but we do want to thank you for allowing our department and our staff to participate, and that you even will be considering that. I want to express to you how important it was to them and how it was very important to them. We organize our office and work teams. So we have two operations. Those are the individuals on the front line that deal with the taxpayer and take the payments, accounting, and the delinquency. And of course, you know, you happen to forget yourselves, but we have a management team that's not listed there. We've organized to work into teams. We have weekly meetings in these teams and monthly staff meetings. I welcome any one of you to join us at any time. We alternate who runs the meetings. It's not a supervisor. It's not me. We want to empower our staff. We want to encourage ownership in each and every one of them, including the members of management. And we want to cultivate leadership because we think that makes a successful working environment. And to tell you that we have increased morale, and I think they'd tell you this themselves, increased morale, improved training and knowledge and service to the taxpayer with absolutely, at this time, no option or opportunity for a pay raise is truly phenomenal and a testament to their buy-in and belief in the service to our taxpayers. I just wanted to share that with you, and I really would welcome any of you. It's been interesting. We pick from a goblet who leads the next meeting. So it could be anyone, but they've been fun. It encourages communication between team members and unity, and when you have a problem come up, that's very important. So at this time, that's all I had. Just wanted to take any questions if you have any.
Yeah. Could you go back to the slide on the collections? Just to go down a little bit into that. I think we're expecting about out of the 86 million for the county for operations, we're expecting about 84 million that's actually being collected. We discount to some extent.
Yep.
Knowing that there will be those that don't pay or pay extremely
Understood.
late. And I think that's about where we would expect to be from the county. On the school operations, they're 130 million roughly billed. We discounted that, went through a lengthy process this year to understand and realize they need to have a greater discounted number and why. That would be discounted down to 126 million, about 8 million short, which is a little bit higher proportional wise to what the county's uncollected or what we would expect to collect. Do you have any feeling for the school district, will they be able to catch up and hit their mark of 126 million or not? Any feel for that?
Based on a comparison of where we were last year, and I know in a previous meeting a few weeks ago, there was some discussion between the county, the schools, finance department of how they were going to make up this shortage that they were speaking of. I can't speak to that. What I can tell you is what I see in the numbers. And in the numbers, I am not seeing a slowdown in collections compared to last year. Now, county operations, we did have an increase in billing that was greater than the amount the school operations increased. So to tell you that, so that I have to go by the percentages, and the percentages are spot on where we were last year.
Well, I think that's best I can answer.
Yes,
What I'm
and-
asking, not how
Correct.
they will deal with it, but are we expecting to get the collections to come in what we were?
As of right now, yes, and like I showed you, the majority of the collections, the money we're gonna get in is done. The only, I don't wanna say unknown factor, but is the participation in these TIFs. If there is a decrease or an appeal on value of property within a TIF, that will affect that net collection there. Excuse me. Or if you have a property, we have one TIF, the property, there's a few that have not paid. If a delinquent payment would result in a payment into that TIF. So that is the only thing that I can tell you that I can compare it to last year, but from a valuation standpoint, I have to reconcile what's there, so.
Do you have any feeling on the school district side, because there are some very large, the 10% or the higher business type, especially utilities, that tend to have lots of bills and pay later? Do you know if there are any outstanding or?
What I do not know are the top 10 the top 10 dollar amounts outstanding. What I can tell you is school operations as of February 15th was at a 91.62 collection rate. Their collection rate is normally lower than the county operations because of that 4 versus 6, 10%. But that is on pace with last year.
We're projecting 95% was what we targeted this county.
Correct. What we did do this year, and I don't believe, and I'm not going to tell you that it resulted in taxpayers, large taxpayers paying when they wouldn't have, but some, I'll use an example, Pitney Bowes, they have a tax bill for every mail station in Beaufort County. Can you imagine getting that stack of tax bills in the mail? One, it costs us money to mail it to them in a giant stack. They have someone who sits there, they add it up. Sometimes they don't add correctly. They send us one check, and then we have to send it back to them saying it's not right. You got to send us a difference. It creates extended amount of time that we're anticipating that cash flow. What we did this year is we contacted every taxpayer with over 50 accounts and asked them, we'd love to send you a digital file. Would you like that? And if we do, we'll total it for you. We'll still send you the bills. We'll total it for you, though. Just send us back. And now I have an import file that I can import into Aumentum, our tax software, in under 5 minutes, where someone manually had to enter every one of those bills. I do think that implementation did result in a faster importing and bringing in of money. I can't tell you without doing further research, if you'd like me to, whether that resulted in receiving a payment we hadn't before.
Yeah, that's just the top 10 that have not paid yet.
Sure.
If any of those are any of the extremely large, that we can expect a little bit, give us a little more comfort in the school district meeting their total collection.
Sure, and would you like me to focus on top 10 school operations dollars? Because there's a difference between total and...
We can discuss that offline.
Sure, not a problem. Anything else? Yes, Steve?
Just one, over the years, we've always got into this whole collection rate thing, and obviously there's things that show up from prior years.
Yeah.
It would be interesting at some point in time, if it's available, not too much trouble, to actually look at what is the amount that's still outstanding from prior years.
Sure.
See what that looks like. And I understand that on cars and airplanes, we probably don't collect 100%, but I've often wondered whether we eventually collect 100% on real property, because in theory...
In theory, we should.
In theory, we should.
Yes. Yeah, it's very, I mean, it's,
FLC kind of.
other than the properties that end up in the forfeited land commission or potential tax void, which has decreased significantly in the last 5 years, it is close to 100%. If I know, I can easily tell you the dollars we collect from prior tax years because it's on our website already. What's not there is the outstanding amount. I'd be happy to look into that for you.
If it's not too much trouble.
Bless you.
Okay.
Anything else?
Good job. And the people are happier down there. And, you know, I'm in the building every day. I talk to these people as they walk around with me. They really are happier in the treasurer's office.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I really am very proud of them. So, but thank you very much for saying
I had
that.
no idea you turned over control of the meeting. That is really dangerous.
It's fun. It's fun. We've had some nice conversations. So, anytime, come join us. Thank you.